How's it going, everybody? Ray here. This is His Wondrous Outdoors. This is part 2 to Psalm 23. On the first video, we went through the whole thing, read all 6 verses, and I just shared with you how David, who wrote this psalm, would completely relate to being a shepherd over the sheep and also being a host to his guests at a banquet. And so today we're going to go through verses 1 through 4. And tomorrow we'll do 5 and 6, okay? And well, let's just get into it. Got our sword here. All right. Verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Simply put, if you can call Jesus Christ, the Lord, your shepherd, that means something, okay? David is saying here very specifically, he says, the Lord is my shepherd. Not was or will be, but is. Okay? Same thing with us. The Lord is our shepherd. And always will be our shepherd. Okay? If you can say that and you know what that means, then you understand the next part of verse 1. It says, I shall not want. Alright? He provides all of our needs. Everything we need, He provides. Okay? And we're going to see this through all the verses here. All right, verse 2. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. All right, He makes me lie down in green pastures. Okay, so as the shepherd goes and takes his flock into green pastures, they do not lie down unless they're fed and they're full and they feel protected, they feel content and safe. If there's other sheep doing things, messing around as well, this sheep's not going to lay down, okay? But it says here, He makes me lie down in green pastures. So He does give us our filling. He fills us up, okay, with His word and with His provision, right? He fills us up, and then also it says He leads me beside quiet waters. And the quiet waters is restoration. It's rest. He gives us that peace. All right. So with having that peace and having the provision, He makes us to lie down. He gets us to that point because we do need to rest, and He knows that. Us, we think we need to be doing this, that, and the other, all kinds of stuff. And even things that are what we would consider good things for Him, sometimes we can be overzealous and just keep going. So He makes me to lie down in green pastures. All right, let's keep moving on. Verse 3. He restores my soul. He guides me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. All right. He restores my soul, my spirit. Okay? He restores it. That's awesome that He does that. He does that through His word. He does that through fellowship. He does that through services on Sunday mornings, Bible studies on Wednesday evenings. Because listen, all week long, we're in the world. We're not of the world, okay? But all week long, we're in it. And whether you're out there sharing the gospel, praying, or, just honoring the Lord, you're going to get beat down. You're going to get restless. It's a battle. The spiritual battle is real. But it says that He restores our souls. And I believe He does that. Again, like I said, through going to service on Sunday morning, Bible study Wednesday evening, those kinds of things. Just fellowship with other believers, strong believers, like-minded believers. There's a lot of restoration. We get rest. We get re-equipped, right? It's equipping the saints. And we're able to go back out there and battle again. So, awesome. Then it says, He guides me in the paths of righteousness. Okay, so guiding me in the path of righteousness, that's security. And it's also prosperity. Now, I just said prosperity. Do not get that twisted. Do not wrongly think of what that word is from the Lord. Because we can be prosperous. And that's okay. Right? He provides all things. Okay? And so in that, his guiding us in the path of righteousness is for his name's sake anyways. So regardless of what that looks like in our lives, if we're prospering, say he gives you finances, all right? I'm not saying a millionaire, but he makes it to where you're able to pay all your bills, provide for your family, and you have a little extra. That money is his money. He caused you to prosper for his namesake. That could be used at any time for the body. Okay? For helping out those in need, right? For giving to ministries, for giving to your own body, right? Wherever you're holding services, is all those kinds of things. It's for his name's sake. Okay? It's his righteousness that he bestows on us. It's an amazing thing. I hope I'm not losing you. Okay? All right. Verse number 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. All right, this is a beautiful verse. I love verse 4. And in this verse it says, even though I walk. And see, even though I walked, or will walk, but that I do walk, so it's a continuous, walking through the valley of the shadow and death. So understand you're going to walk through it. You don't fear because he's with you. All right? And listen to what it says. The valley of the shadow of death. All right? It's not death. It's a valley of the shadow of death. Okay? Nothing can happen to you unless God allows it to happen. All right? And so it's like a shadow of anything can't harm you. Okay? The shadow of a dog chasing after you and barking and biting, that shadow can't hurt you. All right? And that's what this is. It's the valley of the shadow of death. And not only that, there's two tools here that every shepherd used. Okay? And still use. One is a rod and one is a staff. The rod is like a club, okay? And they would use that, and a shepherd who was well trained could yield that rod and protect his sheep from any kind of predators, anything like that, okay? The staff, on the other hand, which is really cool, the staff had a crook on the end of it, so just like a curve, right? And that crook, was for if his sheep were just kind of out of control or just doing whatever, he can bring them back and he could guide them. He can guide them with the other end of the staff too, just moving them different directions. But listen to this. This is pretty neat about sheep. This is something I learned. Sheep are their strongest when their head is down. Their muscles and their shoulders are the strongest muscles they have in their body. If their head's down, they're going. But you take that crook and the shepherd would put it around their neck and pick their head up. When they picked their head up, they weren't as strong and they could be guided. Think about that with us. I mean, really think about that. We're the same way. We got our head down and we're going for it, right? That's really cool that David would put that in this psalm. And so, all right, guys, that's verses 1 through 4. Just a shepherd. And actually, let me share one more thing with you. It's part of verse 5, which I'm going to also talk about tomorrow, but it's relevant for a shepherd as well. It says, and this is the second part of verse 5, you have anointed my head with oil. Sheep get their heads covered in oil. And here's why. Sheep will go and get stuck in the thickets. And the other thing is the bugs that get into on their face and in their nostrils and stuff like that. A sheep will go and rub its face in the rocks and hit its head against the rocks to the point of death. But the oil that they put on a sheep's head makes it to where they don't get stuck in the thickets. And also keeps the bugs away. That's pretty neat. But, alright guys, I love you. God bless. Prayer requests, praise reports. I'm going to keep asking. One day somebody will put one in there. I know it. But till tomorrow, love you guys. I'm out.